Amy Kirk, and I live in Pringle, South Dakota, with my husband Art and our two kids, Renee and Miles. Art and I have been in ranching for 15 years, and I also write a weekly column based on ranch life. I would say that Pringle is best known for their elk. People in the area grew up on venison and elk meat, but we're biased because we have homegrown beef here, and that's what we prefer to eat. A handful of families have been here for generations. My husband's family is one of them.
My great-granddad, John Kirk, homesteaded here, late 1800s. Him and his brothers, they actually trailed a herd out from Iowa. I'm fourth generation on this ranch, so my kids are fifth generation ranchers.
In the springtime, after the majority of our cows have had their calves, we have to brand and vaccinate them. We set aside a special day and we recruit the neighbors. Then after it's all done, then I put on a big branding day dinner. Cooking the branding dinner is a big job because it involves a lot of pre-planning on my part. My standard branding day menu doesn't vary from year to year. It's pretty much the same. I usually have roast beef, beef short ribs, homemade bread, coleslaw, and mashed potatoes, lots of desserts.
How's it going? Are you getting ready for branding?
Once I get through today, I think it'll be much better. I've got a lot of things done. I got my meat cooked, so that's good.
Putting on branding dinners has been a long time tradition. I like to be in the kitchen, but I also love to be out where the action's at in the branding corral. So for me to be able to do both, I do a lot of prep work beforehand. I try to do as much as I can from scratch, and it takes time.
So what are we doing?
I think I'm gonna have you make the peanut butter pie.
Part of the reason that I like to cook a lot of my food from scratch is because I think if I feed a branding crew with really good food, they're likely to come back again.
What's great about Renee is now that she's older, she can do a lot more. I want to show her what I do in the kitchen, so hopefully she'll have good memories and she'll want to try it when she's older. Okay, go ahead and dump that in.
So what did we just put in there?
Okay, that's instant coffee,
So
and that just gives it kind of a tangy taste. This is the only barbecue recipe I've ever heard of instant coffee in it. So that could be our secret ingredient.
So how many people do you think are coming?
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing around 40-ish. So we'll see. We'll get a better head count tomorrow morning once everybody shows up. It blew wind all night last night. Worst branding day on record for the Kirk Ranch.
It would be really hard to pull this off without our neighbors. We just really depend on a good turnout of calf wrestlers because it's hard work.
Hi! Yeah.
I like to try and get in with the gathering. It's just something that you really don't want to miss. As soon as we get the cattle gathered, then I like to make sure I have enough cinnamon rolls for everybody in the morning.
I got caramel and I got frosted.
Oh, I'll give you a frosty.
Well, I sure appreciate you guys coming out in this nasty weather.
You knew it.
Well, yeah.
If I get a chance to, I like to wrestle calves too. I like to be outside where the action's at. Putting on a branding day dinner is a lot of work, but it is also fun too, especially the camaraderie in the kitchen. We take turns helping the neighbors with their branding meal. It's really helpful to have people say, what can I do? And say, well, I haven't got this done. When I first started doing this, I was very intimidated by the other ladies because they looked like pros, and I wasn't exactly sure how they were able to pull it all off.
When did you do your first dinner?
Probably 50 years ago. I remember we cooked on a wood stove, I remember.
I learned a lot from watching you. I always aspire to cook as good as Sue's in it.
My biggest worry is probably making sure I have enough of the meat. Everybody comes here because they really like fresh roast beef that's fork tender, and they love the barbecue ribs that I put on. Gotta have plenty of mashed potatoes. There's been one time that the bowl got kind of cleaned out, so.
It's hard to nail down a favorite part of Amy's meal because she puts a lot of special things into it. I'm a die-hard beef man, so as long as there's beef and potatoes, I'm pretty happy.
I like to see everybody heaping their plates full of food that I've prepared. It validates me as a cook. At the end of branding day, I really like to visit with people and just have a beer. I'm also relieved because everything always seems to work out, and so it's really nice at the end of the day to say it all came together.
She's done a wonderful job of doing all the little things it takes to put together a meal for 30 or 40 people. To find a gal that wants to be a ranch wife and dedicate the long hours and the little pay, Amy's a rare find.